Okay, so let us have a look and see what happened to the UK pound, to the US dollar, and also to gold prices, and of course the euro US dollar, the euro dollar for yesterday, and where is it now as of this morning. So again, for yesterday, we were looking at the UK data, economic data, which was released on Tuesday, June the 16th at 2 p.m. Okay, first of all, was the claimant count change. This is the unemployment. It is similar to the unemployment claims numbers coming out from the US. So basically, yesterday's numbers came in at 528,000 British citizens seeking for social benefits or unemployment claims. Okay, so this was worse than market expectations of 405,000. Theoretically, this should weaken the UK pound. However, as you can see, there was another data coming out yesterday, which was the unemployment rate coming in at 3.9%, which was not as bad as market expectations of 4.7%. Okay, so some traders may see this as one bad data cancelling out another good data, or a good data cancelling out the bad data. However, when you look at the UK pound, yesterday's movement, number one, leading up towards the 2 p.m. announcement, we can see that the UK pound has already been going up for a while, ever since on this 15th of June, Monday, okay, at about 3 p.m. The UK pound has been going up from 1.2458, and just before the announcement of the news, it has gone up about 200 pips. Okay, so the final push was here at about 10 a.m. yesterday. The UK pound moved up from this price 1.2631 to a high of 1.2685. This was about a 55 pips move up, and as the data was being released, we can see that the UK pound started to push back down. Okay, so the UK pound moved back down from a high of 1.2685, okay, and moved down for the next 1, 2, 3 hours to a low of 1.2607. Okay, so the Asian trading session, it was up about 55 pips during the UK trading session, and when this economic data was announced, it moved back down about 78, almost 80 pips. Put it at 78 pips, and it went sideways for a while, and towards the evening session, this is the evening move, the US market move. This one was at 1600, which was at +5 2100 hours, 9 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. We can see that the UK pound drops again, and this time it goes down 112 pips to 1.25 to 1.2552 levels. Okay, so after that it went quiet, and as of this morning, it is mildly bearish. Okay, going down about 38 pips so far for the Asian trading cycle. Okay, so this was the summary of the UK pound, and let's have a look and see what happened to the US dollar. So this is again the US dollar index, and as we can see, the US dollar was strengthening previously on last Thursday and last Friday, and moving on Monday, it was range bound, and towards Tuesday, which was yesterday, there was a gap down, as there was a Federal Reserve announcement. Here we go. On Tuesday early morning, 2 a.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, the Federal Reserve announced that in their quantitative easing program, in terms of funding the quantitative easing and also the emergency lending programs, the Federal Reserve is now looking to purchase individual corporate bonds to finance the quantitative easings. Okay, so this of course, when we mention Federal Reserve looking to buy corporate bonds to provide money to stimulate the US economy, in a way it is good for the equity markets. That is why on Tuesday, we can see the equity markets rising, okay, the S&P 500 in this case. And since equities are rising, it does mean that there is slightly less economic uncertainty, and that was the main reason why the US dollar weakened. Okay, so the reason why the US dollar strengthened last week, the last 2 days, again was largely due to the spike in coronavirus cases in the US. That's why it created a short-term panic, and demand for the US dollar increased. And after the Federal Reserve's announcement on Tuesday morning, the US dollar weakened again in anticipation that more money will be pumped into the US economy, and thus alleviating any short-term economic concerns. However, as you can see, it was also quite short-lived as the US dollar strengthened back again. Okay, so other economic data coming up in terms of the timing of the moves on the US dollar yesterday. The first one was over here. Okay, you can see this candle moving up. This one occurred at 1000 hours. Okay, down below 1000 hours. So again, if you're in Singapore, Malaysia, you will add 5 hours to this. So 10 plus 5 is 15, which is at 3 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. So it started to move up. Okay, the second move was this large candle, which is at 1600 hours, and again you add 5 hours to this to the server time of 1600. It will become 2100 hours, which is 9 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. And during that time, with volumes rising, the US dollar continues to strengthen again. Okay, so it strengthens all the way and closes this gap before retracing back and going quiet for the rest of the evening for the US trading session, and also until this morning. So that was on the UK pound and also on the US dollar. Let's have a look at the euro dollar. It's a pretty similar case for the euro dollar. We can see that for most of the UK trading session and US trading sessions, the first candle which moved down was actually this one. Okay, this one was at again 1000 hours plus 5 is 1500 hours, which is 3 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. We can see that the euro dollar is unable to break through this resistance and starts to come back down. Okay, so from a high of 1.1347, it comes down for the UK session until here. Okay, coming down about 51 pips to a level of 1.1295, and most traders will see this as one large move, but I break it down into two. So the first cycle, or the first move, was the UK trading cycle, moving it from here to here, and the second one was actually this one. Okay, again the timing is 1600 plus 5 is 21, which will be 9 p.m. and this is the cycle or the sentiment for the US market trading session. Okay, so the US traders or investors, again they are of the opinion that yes, it is the US dollar is still stronger than the euro dollar, and thus we see the euro dollar dropping another about 68 pips to a low of 1.1232. Okay, my eyes are getting blurred, very small. Okay, so so the move started from 3 p.m. or started during the UK trading session, and it extended all the way until the US trading session. It touched a low of 1.1232, moving down a total of about 115 pips before having a recovery and then going quiet. So as of this morning, it is still relatively quiet. So again, well, as you can see, this is how I analyze or how we analyze the sentiment, the charts, where the market was before, where is it now, whether it is from a bearish to a consolidation to a bullish move up to retracement, and after retracement back into a consolidation phase. Okay, so so that was for the euro dollar so far. Okay, So then we move on to gold prices. Gold prices was on the H4 and D1, it is still technically consolidating, as you can see on the H4. But on the H1, of course, you should be able to capture more micro movements. Even the micro movements are easily between 20 to 30 US dollars. So for yesterday, after the gold prices was dropping on Monday, okay, gold prices dropped on Monday in the Asian trading session all the way to the beginning of the US trading session. Gold prices moved down about 28 US dollars and towards 1700. This is at 10 p.m. on Monday, local Singapore and Malaysia time. Gold prices recovered back about 20 US dollars. Okay, so for yesterday, on Tuesday, gold prices was mostly trading in a range. So it went up about $9. Then it came down about $10, and then it went up again about almost $11. Okay, and towards the US trading session, this was the peak trading time for gold. So it came down about 15 US dollars, and guess what? It went up again. Okay, it went up again by about 14 to 15 US dollars, and then after that it went quiet. And currently, gold prices are still range bound. Okay, so as you can see, these are the sentiment, or what I like to call the behavior of gold, the UK pound, the euro dollar, and also last but not least, oil prices. Okay, so oil prices was also consolidating for the last few market days, and for yesterday, oil prices was actually on a mild bullish run. Okay, it went up from here. This was the time. This 500 hours plus 5. This is about 10 a.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. It goes up from $36.97, goes up to this level. And the second move was this one at about 11 plus 5, 1600 hours, 4 p.m. And of course, the move for the US trading session was this one, happening at about 15 plus 5. This is 2000 hours, which is 8 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. So throughout the three cycles, each of them was bullish, bullish, and bullish. So it went up a total of about $2.33 before having a recovery at about, or retracement at about this at 1700 plus 5, 2200 hours, 10 p.m. yesterday. It comes down about $1.90, and then after that it does consolidate again. Okay, so currently this is the movement and sentiment of oil prices at the moment. So I guess oil prices has been subject to, number one, the coronavirus updates, which showed a spike in COVID-19 cases in the US over the last 5 to 7 market days. That is the main reason why the oil prices actually came down, due to concerns that with a spike in coronavirus cases, there could be new lockdowns, or lockdowns will be enforced again. So if lockdowns are enforced again, definitely it will cause consumers in the US to be quarantined at home or so on. That means they will not be able to get out from their homes. They cannot drive to the malls. They cannot travel, and demand for energy such as crude oil or petrol will drop. Okay, so these are the movements of the instruments at the moment. So again, we need to wait until just about 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. to see what are the latest chart patterns, what is the market sentiment at the moment, and where the prices will likely move to. Okay, so currently that is the latest updates for today. So possibly we can see the UK pound recovering a little bit towards the afternoon session, based on the H4 chart, based on the H4 chart also for the euro dollar. Again, we should see some retracement up a bit. And for gold prices, it is still tentatively in a range, but there is a higher tendency that it could be going down. Okay, so again, hope you guys had a good good understanding of the news and events for today, and also on the technical analysis. And I'll see you again tomorrow for the latest market updates. Thank you and have a good day.